I'm Dutch, and let's react to the Americans. Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Johan, and I'm a typical Dutchman. And if you're planning to come over to Europe for your holidays, or maybe to live here permanently, or you want to know how is life in Europe in comparison with the United States, then you are at the right channel, because in the channel I take a look at and react to videos about life and living in the US versus life and living in Europe or the Netherlands specifically. And for today, we're gonna take a look at a video from a good channel. I've seen a lot of her, type Ashton. An American, lives in Germany, but she's talking about my dangerous walk to school in the USA. So as she lives in Germany, so what? Well, let's take a look at what she has to say about this. My dangerous walk to school. Okay.
Welcome to my hometown, Sherman, Illinois, a sleepy community on the outskirts of Springfield, the capital. This little
Springfield. Oh, that brings memories. Homer?
village is where I spent the first 18 years of my life,
Oh.
and is a tight-knit community of families. It's close enough to the city where my mom worked, but also still a farming community, so my dad only had to drive a few miles to my grandparents' farm for work. But you know, despite being what I would very confidently say is a great community to grow up in, to raise your kids in, it is dramatically different from the community where I currently raise my own children in Germany. On my channel, I often talk about pedestrian-friendly infrastructure, kid-friendly design, and how great urban planning gives children more independence, freedom, and self-reliance. But that isn't how I grew up. Like the vast majority of American children, I grew up in a very, very car-centric culture. So in today's video, I'm gonna take you on a walk from
Yeah, but okay. Yeah, it's always in America very car-centric. So
the front door of the house I grew up in to my old elementary school, to illustrate exactly why, despite living just
what? Oh, 22 minutes. 22 minutes walking. That was nearby. A lot of kids have to walk much further. 20. What? Yeah, for my elementary school, I had also a walk of about 10 to 15 minutes. So yeah, 22 minutes.
1 mile door to door, or around 1.6 kilometers.
Oh, okay. 1 mile, 1.6 kilometers.
I personally never walked or biked to school. Not once.
I did it every day. Every school day, I walked to school. I had several options, but I was lazy, so I took the shortest one. And it's not always the safest one, but only one big street to cross. And then the rest was all, yeah, good to go.
So, let's get started.
Type Ashton. Oh,
But first, I want to give a big thank you to Master School for sponsoring today's video.
Oh.
A global network of career training schools that helps people make their first steps into the world of tech, Master School currently has programs such as data analytics, cybersecurity, and software engineering, as well as a new AI engineering career track. With Master School, you can enjoy a 1-month orientation course designed for people like you who are still exploring their way in the tech industry and want to get some better understanding of it before diving headfirst into any domain. Plus, their programs are available in both English and German and are AZAV accredited and offer total flexibility with your learning. The training is completely online and can be taken from anywhere. But if you're watching today's video from right here in Germany, Master School can be the avenue that you've been looking for to start a new career in the expanding tech industry. They now work in cooperation with the German government, allowing qualified candidates to learn with Master School for free using a dedicated government-funded voucher or
Again. for free. Yeah. In Germany, you can study for free. Oh, I must hear the Americans. They're gonna, we have to pay for everything. Yeah.
Bildungsgutschein via the Agentur für Arbeit, or Job Center, who covers the full tuition fee of the Master School program. In other words, if you get approved by the Agentur für Arbeit, or Job Center, you will not pay anything and can start learning with Master School for free. To find out if you're eligible for the voucher, simply complete the application to Master School by clicking the link down in the description of this video. By finishing the admission process and starting to learn with Master School through my personal link, you'll receive a pair of free AirPods, which comes on top of the free MacBook that you'll receive, which remains yours if
Free MacBook?
you successfully complete one of their full programs. So take advantage of this unique career opportunity and enroll today.
Okay. Does anyone need some more convincing to come over? If you want to learn, oh man, can anyone tell me what this would cost in the United States if you want to do something like this? And having free AirPods, okay, but having a laptop or netbook for free that you can keep after you're finished your course.
All right, so I am starting off today's walk in the neighborhood where I grew up as a kid. In fact, my old house is right there behind me, so it's definitely a really weird feeling being back in the place where, yeah, my entire childhood was spent. But you know, being back here, the first thing that I recognize is that the only place where I was allowed to play or ride my bike or walk as a kid was right here on the sidewalk. You know, compared to the neighborhood where I raise my kids now, where we play on a Spielstrasse and the kids run around pretty much everywhere.
So I know this is Woonerf in the Netherlands, Spielstrasse in Germany. And in the Netherlands, when you see this sign on the street or on a sign actually on the side of the street, it's a maximum speed of, if I'm correct, the maximum speed is 10, yeah, it's 15 kilometers or give or take 10 miles an hour, maximum speed.
The only safe place for children, even in a quiet, calmed residential neighborhood, is, quite frankly, the sidewalk.
Slow. Children at play.
Because a huge difference to Germany is that even though this is no through traffic, only the residents drive through here, cars are still allowed to drive much, much faster than in Germany. Here in my neighborhood, the speed limit is 30 miles an hour, which is roughly 50 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, okay, 30 miles an hour. In Germany, I guess she will say, and also here in the Netherlands, most of the time it's 30 kilometers an hour, which means 30 kilometers, 20 miles an hour, give or take.
Now, that's the speed limit in Germany that's reserved for main thoroughfares through towns and villages. Most residential neighborhoods in Germany are traffic calm to about 30 kilometers an hour, or about 18 miles an hour,
18, okay.
Which is a significant difference. I know that as a child growing up, my mom was very stern with us that the only place we were ever supposed to be was on the sidewalk because that was what was safe. And I think that really holds true for a lot of neighborhoods throughout much of the United States. It's just, quite frankly, not safe to play in the street. The streets are for cars, not for kids, even in neighborhoods that are meant for families. Now, the other big difference to here in the United States is that sidewalks themselves are actually quite haphazard. In the United States, anything built before 1970 would have had the opportunity not to construct sidewalks when the area was first developed. Once zoning and subdivision code became more and more prevalent throughout the nation, the construction of sidewalks became more mandatory. In a lot of older, more established neighborhoods, you might not find them at all, because throughout much of the United States, the production and construction of sidewalks are the responsibilities of the individual developers who build the neighborhoods. So,
oh, yeah, okay. There's no general rule book for the state, let's say, in, I won't say federal, but on state level, how streets should be designed, and there should be mandatory sidewalks. So that's not a that's in Germany and also in the Netherlands and a lot of other countries over in Europe. It's a rule book, a safety rule book, federal. So every street in that nation needs to have some kind of safe spaces, whatever defined, but usually it means a road, and on the side of the road a sidewalk. Yeah, in any fashion. Yeah.
I'm now approaching the end of my neighborhood street, out onto one of the more main, larger roads in my small town. And, well, take a look for yourself. The sidewalk ends.
Oh.
Okay, so here at the end of my neighborhood, I am now approaching County Road 124, or what we really call Andrew Road in Sherman. And there's no sidewalks, so I basically have two options. I can either walk on the narrow shoulder next to the road and hope that I'm not hit by a car, or I can walk through private property in the grass.
Hope that you don't get shot, because that's also... It's my property. Second Amendment. Bang.
When I was a little kid, we kind of walked through the grass most of the time, but technically speaking, that is illegal. And I'm not really a local here anymore, so I guess the road is the legal option. So, yeah, here we go.
Okay. Good luck. Yeah, she survived because she added it, but...
So, Sherman, Illinois is a really nice...
at least the policeman made some space for her.
family community town. This is a town of just 4,600 people. And it's not large or sprawling like a lot of the major city suburbs are. And again, this is a village that's primarily made up of families. And the whole reason I wanted to take you on this walk with me today is just to illustrate that I think one of the big reasons why we don't have pedestrian-friendly infrastructure isn't necessarily that we're just so spread out. It's just that it's not a priority. But it's not just this walk that I think really illustrates it for me. Take a look at this local park that we also have here in Sherman. It's wonderful. It's brand new. The city has just invested a ton of money into really great spaces for kids to play. Mm-hmm. The problem is, you can't walk or bike there if you're a kid.
Park not accessible via sidewalk or bike path for this residence. Oh. So these people are, I don't know if this is actually a road that looks like a safe road. They can walk or bike over through the park, but all these...
That's right. This facilities area and playground area, which, if I had to imagine, probably cost in the six-figure range, is only accessible if you're a young kid, if a family member can chauffeur you there. There's no sidewalks connecting it, which I really think is such a shame. I really think
you need to go by car to the play. Oh, man.
That takes away such a huge amount of independence and autonomy that children feel. If you can't even just...
Yeah, but on the other hand, it's not allowed, as far as I know, to let children play alone somewhere without adult supervision, because then you're committing a crime.
Just go play with your friends unless mom and dad take you there. I just feel like that has to be so limiting. But things didn't used to be this way. The prevalence of walking or biking to school for students in grades K through 8 was almost 48% in the 1970s. But according to a national survey in 2017, today in the United States, only 9.6% of students of 5 to 17 years of age
by 2017, okay,
usually walked, and 1.1% biked to school. And that's the thing. This kind of design, this walk that I'm taking you on today, it isn't unique to Sherman, Illinois. This kind of design is just, quite frankly, pervasive around the United States. All right, so I'm going to head over to the other side of the road, crossing safely, I assure you. And before you accuse me of jaywalking in the comment section, I would happily have crossed at a pedestrian crosswalk, but there aren't any.
Say if there is one, she would have, but there isn't one. Yeah.
Anywhere on this road, even here in town. And I'm actually coming up on one of the most major intersections in the entire town. And I'm going to show you something that's probably going to shock you. There's no pedestrian crosswalk here. All right, so I'm actually crossing Business 55. This is the road that leads you to the interstate here in Sherman. And I don't really know how I'm going to cross. I guess I just...
Okay. So every major crossroads have at least a crosswalk. And some of... If it's a really bigger crossing, then there are escape hills you can go to in the middle of the street, and then take a look left or right again, and then take the second half of the crossing. And on the major ones, there's even some kind of traffic lights, but none at all.
Wait for a green light and cross with the traffic and run? All right, wish me luck, guys.
Good luck.
All right, I think this is my opportunity. One, go. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay, it's green on the other side. The cars leave, so the rest is red.
By the way, I planned this walk for 7 o'clock in the morning for the exact
7 a.m. on a Saturday.
reason that I didn't want to get hit by a car. But here's the thing that's also, I think, really important to underscore here. This is not some exceptional route that I'm choosing to...
What is this? This is a traffic light. I hope it is. Yeah, with 3 lights. But this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights on the other side. And 3 on the, let's say if this is the 3 on the front side and 5 on the back side, or is it 5 on the front side and 3 in the back? What is this?
To prove a point. There really are only a handful of intersections here in this town. None of them have pedestrian crosswalks. And I'm taking this route specifically because, like many American towns, the whole reason mine is here is primarily due to the fact that it was located on the railroad system. So the old railroad actually crosses directly through the center of town, slicing it in half. There's actually in the entire town only 2 crossing points, and Andrew Road goes across one of them. And a few years back, they actually improved the railroad to be a high-speed rail. So
okay, a high-speed rail. The first time I hear about it.
Now they've had, for safety reasons, to install this fencing system that runs along the entire length of the track to make sure, of course, that pedestrians don't cross in an unsafe manner. The only problem is that there really isn't a safe option either. There's no...
Okay. Protect. But at the same point, oh man. Oh.
sidewalk crossing this railroad. There's no pedestrian button for me to hit to let me know that it's safe. I, again, just have to cross on the road. All right, so now that I've crossed over the railroad tracks behind me, I'm now entering into the old part of Sherman. And like I said earlier, here again you can see that this neighborhood in particular is so old that it predates the mandate of sidewalks being constructed. So here again, even in a very quiet, residential, older part of the town, there's no option for me to walk safely. And here's the thing. While I could very much understand that everything I've pointed out thus far can be seen as, well, pretty critical of this kind of design, I want to point it out for 2 really important reasons. One, again, because this really isn't the exception. I think that for a lot of places in the United States, it was just designed this way, not really thinking about people who might want to walk or bike to school safely.
Yeah. Car-centric. Only cars in the mind. Yeah.
even in places that might be considered car-centric. Places like these just simply haven't made it a priority, even though I think it would be argued that it wouldn't be really all that difficult to make it happen. But the second real reason is that I was the fourth generation of women to go to school here, to graduate from this elementary school, middle school, junior high, and high school.
So the school is standing there a long, long time if she was the fourth generation.
Family has lived here a long time. My mom, grandmother, great-grandmother were all born here. It's a great place to be a kid. Don't get me wrong. I'm very thankful for the upbringing that I had and the opportunity to live in a very safe community like this one. But I also think that communities like here in Sherman could do so much more to make a space that was meant for kids and not cars. After all, the prime demographic of residents here are families with children. It has a great school system, low crime, friendly people. I think it has so much going for it. But I think one of the big things that stops me personally from moving back here and raising my kids here is that I fear that my children wouldn't have the same level of independence, autonomy, self-reliance, and freedom, quite frankly, that they have in Germany. In Germany specifically, kids from the age of 6 walk.
Yeah, from the age of 6. Yeah, alone. Over here in the Netherlands, 6 years old. Yeah. Even 5, 6-year-olds, 5, 6, 7, yeah.
Or bike alone to school, traveling very much the same distance of what I'm doing here today. But they do it because there's safe options for the kids. They're not asking kids to ride their bike down a 50-kilometer street with the cars. They provide either a separated bike path or an option to travel on further traffic-calmed streets to make sure that they get there safely. And again, I think a lot of these things wouldn't take a heck of a lot of change. There's both space and money to do it, as well as a big group of people who would benefit from it. I think it just takes a little bit more of a keen eye and, well, walking the streets yourself.
And some effort. Yeah.
To prove the point. And here's the thing. While I am very mindful to the American mindset that even with great infrastructure, it might not feel safe to let little kids bike by themselves, I think it's so important to give us the opportunity to have kids have that level of activity and freedom in their everyday life. For a lot of the United States, the only exercise kids really get these days is either in PE class or through organized sports. When you take out their ability to walk and bike, to go to school every day by themselves, it does make a huge difference in their activity levels, as well as their overall health and fitness. Now, thankfully, I'm almost here at the elementary school, and lo and behold, the first pedestrian crosswalk of the day to the very first sidewalk of the day.
Oh, wow. But this is near the school. And I assume that the school is on the other side, or you're walking and then this leads to the school. So I don't know.
But it's right there on the elementary school property. And so with that, it also means that I have officially ended my journey, my 1-mile walk from my old home where I grew up and spent my childhood to my old elementary.
Yeah, and what I see here, this is also very typical. That if this is, and I assume, as an assumption, I assume that this is a new tar laid asphalt or new tar road to make sure that the kids don't need to walk 10 meters, so we can drop them as close to school as possible. What's forbidden that they have to walk 10 meters more than absolutely necessary. Oh, man.
My old home where I grew up and spent my childhood to my old elementary school. Yeah, it definitely brings back some really fond memories for me. And I'm happy to report that I am in one piece and was not, in fact, hit by a car, although there were a couple of interesting close calls there. But I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section of this video. What do you think about the walk that I took today? What kind of improvements do you think could have been made to make that walk safer? And how do you think that could be applied through the rest of the United States?
Yeah, especially that latest one, the last one. How can you make those things happen in the United States? Because it's so easy done, and especially when I see this one, it's not even like we have small bricks or tiles. No, this is these are large concrete tiles, so it's only a couple of hours work to bring to make such a concrete tile road or sidewalk. I think my idea is that a lot of people won't allow to have such a sidewalk on their property. It's how you call it, Nimya, not in my backyard. That kind of mentality. So it's good for everyone else except when it's in my backyard. And in this case, when it's in my front yard, then I'm not agree because I know. If this is more applied to in all of America, it would actually benefit everyone. That's so mind-boggling for me. That why is this so hard to do and to realize this? To realize, not to realize, but to make this happen. Why is everybody so opposed of making sidewalks and crosswalks and putting some paint on a road to mark it as with the appropriate rules, of course? That's so mind-boggling to me. We are the richest country in the world and blah blah blah, but some money invested in safety for the kids or for other people, elderly people. No, we're not gonna do this. Yeah, we need 100,000 for a new parking lot over there. That's what we're gonna do, but spend some. Nah. It's so mind-boggling. It's this kind of mentality that I see by a lot of these videos that I think, why? What is so hard of making some of these things happening? You won't help me say that you should make bike lanes and with sidewalks and traffic lights and bridges, and no, that's not simple. This, and then at least some trees along with it is good for nature. Why? That's the big question. Thank you, Ashton. Thank you for this video, and I'll thank you for being here. If you like the content, then please press like. And if you want to see more of my content, then this is a good place to start with. And it would really be appreciated, because we're still trying to get up to the first 1,000 subscribers, if you hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.